First of all, I want to set the stage. I do not read publicly. I never finished high school. I failed the GED. I'm very proud to be dyslexic. I'm really proud of that. But I'm terrified to read this speech tonight because I don't read publicly. There's probably one other person in this room that knows how I'm feeling, and that's Action Jackson. See, we're both dyslexics. We're kindred souls. But I'm in a building where I feel safe and comfortable because I shouldn't be afraid to fail tonight. And that's what this school is all about, and my wife's name is all about, not to be afraid to fail. So before I get to the adult speech that she wanted me to do, I've got to mention her Fab Four: Randy Boyd, Barbara Molaski Sloan, Marcia Miller, and John Lennon, Bob Forbes. You three can argue who the other three Beatles are, but thank you for being her friend, her support, and always there for her. Thank you. The next part I'd like to talk about is, would that table stand up? Stand up, guys. All the children stand up. Okay. This building is a great award, and undoubtedly it's nice. But it comes to its second, so far away like the sun to Pluto, to her children. Those are her biggest accomplishments. These people in this room is what Jan is most proud of, by a long shot. No offense to anybody, but that's this. Okay, the next thing I want to say, I've always wanted to do this, so I'm going to do it. You guys sit down. I have something to say, and I hope I don't offend people in this room, especially to all you guys. You talk about your woman, I wish you could see mine. Every time she starts to move, she brings eyesight to the blind. You know her, Daddy gave her magic, and I can tell by the way you walk. This is how I feel about Jan. The next one, now I get to the adult speech. Next, I would like to address the faculty. You guys back there, that I know how, it's a long night, it's a long day. You're taking time out to be here. Thank you. But this is my personal feeling how a K-5 school should operate. Did you ever see the faces of the children? They get so excited, waking up on Christmas morning, hours before the winter sun's ignited. They believe in dreams and all they meant to be, including heaven's generosity. Peeping around the door and see what parcels are there for free. That's how an elementary school should be. Kids can't wait to get here. It's a magic show every day. And they have the belief in there, it's okay to fail. Create an environment where kids can fail. Then you get resilience, then you get the dream makers. What this school should be in Las Vegas is a lighthouse for all other schools to follow. They should be the lighthouse to lead educational out of the fog. I don't want to offend any other schools, but I'm partial to this one. So, now I get to the adult speech. And I'm reading, and I'm really nervous, guys. This is tough. I haven't messed up too much. Before I start, I'll break the speech down to 3 sections. It is about the building and the name associated with it. That's the first one. Second one, what molded Jan into the person she is today? And third, my personal closing remarks. Jan and I have had a lot of discussions. Unlike my siblings, I've been preparing for a while. And so we've had a lot to say about this building, but we came to an unanimous agreement. This is not an honor here at all tonight. This is a privilege. Jan feels this is a privilege. It's a privilege to have your name on a building. It means something, so here's where I go. First, I want to ask you, what do you think of when you drive past a school and see someone's name on it? Is it unlike other buildings that have names on them, such as the Milliken Building, Trump Towers? When a name is on a school building, that school takes a special responsibility to that name. That comes along with it. That name means nothing unless there's a vision to go with it, and the faculty and the dedication and meeting the standards and following the mission statement. It's up to you guys to make that name mean something back there. And I've been here. You guys are a really good group of teachers, and you got this mojo going, and it's really good. Okay. Where was I at? Mission statement. 20 years from now is what it's all about. What type of students will come out of this school? When I talk about 20 years from now, I have a specific example in mind. How many of you in the audience, raise your hand, have seen Hoosiers? Have you seen that? Gene Hackman? Okay. In the film, in the last 3 minutes, in an auditorium like this, you hear a bouncing ball, boom, boom, boom. And you see a little boy shooting shots. And as this little boy is shooting the shots, it fades away to up on the wall. And what you see is a giant picture of 8 individuals that made Hickory School famous. The metaphor rings true for this school. When you see Jan's display of honors in the hallway, you should always remind you of the accomplishments and the sacrifices that one made to get there, such as the team of Hoosiers, a little school with enrollment of 162 students, K through 12, beat a high school of 9 through 12 with an enrollment of 1,662 students for the Indiana State Championship. This sums up the character that Jan wants to instill in every student in this school. The idea that you can achieve anything, no matter what the odds are. Dare to dream. That is the responsibility of every teacher within this school needs to make their #1 priority each day they come to school. It is not so much the name on the building. It's what's inside the building that makes the name stand out. And that starts with you guys back there. And I thank you for everything you do. Now here's the next part. Okay. I want everybody in the room to close your eyes. Just do it. Close your eyes. You guys will close your eyes. I know, because you're kids, and I'm in the kid business, and you're not afraid. But adults, sometimes, they get shaky. Close your eyes. Try to think of a thought that no one has ever thought before. Think very hard. Pay no attention to anyone else around you. What do you see? Is it just darkness, or is there a picture? Most of us, with our eyes closed, just see the dark. But scientists or artists can sometimes see new things, sometimes never thought of before. It is these ideas that change our lives and people who think of them. Whether they are painters, musicians, architects, engineers, these people are called inventors. Some of you listening now are inventors. Open your eyes, look around. Can you tell who the next one will be? But these new inventions often sometimes seem strange, maybe even frightening. Sometimes that what seems normal to us, like the clock ticking on the mantle, which would seem 200, 300 years ago like a magician's trick. Faculty, you are the components that make the clock tick for the future. That is your responsibility to this school. Now I start with the Jan, molding of Jan. Before I start on personal remarks about Jan, we need to talk about Jan's beginning and what shaped her. I've been very blessed. I'm just lucky. I'm always lucky. And I got to know Doris Kern Goodwin and a White House historian, and then Dr. Remy. And I asked him one time, what do you do when you get to write a book or whatever? And they go, never study the person, study the parents. Those parents are what made and shaped that person. So that leads us to Nana and Boompa. Okay? That's Jan's parents. Two really remarkable people. Jan thinks Boompa could take the silver screen away from John Wayne when he walks into a room. That's his presence. He's also Mr. Hobbs on vacation at the same time. That's Boompa. That's how he got his name, Boompa. Okay? Now, I'm going to tell a story. On Jan's cool date, she's 16 years old. She's got the coolest guy in school, He's got all this stuff, and he's as tight as a whistle at a pawn shop. So he's out there, and she gets in the car. Then all of a sudden, in front of the car stands Boompa, and he walks over to the young man. And he says, young man, you will open the car door for my daughter. And he proceeded to get out. Jan's sinking in the seat. I'll never see this guy again. Oh my gosh. He made her get out, and he had to open the door and put her in, and then he was allowed to go on the date. That's Boompa. Okay? He was a man to be reckoned with. But what held Boompa together was another remarkable woman. There were 3 survivors in a crash in a plane in Mexico, and I've heard the story, there's always different versions, that Nana looked over to Boompa, are we going to crash? He goes, yep, and they survived. It was a miracle. I think it was a miracle for all our family that led us to where we're at today. Nana is the glue that held everybody together, her foundation. That woman back then had her hip. They said she'd never walk again. She would never walk. And through subliminal messages, I think, Nana would get out, and she's one of those people like Jan. Heck with what the doctors say, I'm going to walk. She would walk down to the neighbor's house to get in their pool every day to do her own rehab on herself. And then she learned to walk again 6 years later. Jan saw that every day. That shaped Jan. Watching that woman work so hard every day, effortlessly, not complaining, not doing anything, she just did it. And that's the family, that's the foundation of the Laverty family, is Nana, that holds it all together. Their house is something unbelievable when you walk into it. I can't explain it. They had means, let's just put it this way, they were well-to-do. When you walked into their home, they made everyone feel welcome, no matter who you were. There was just something magical about that house when you walked in there with Boompa and Nana. The other thing is, April 12th, I believe, if you believe in reincarnation, Jan was on the Titanic. And she was the unsinkable Molly Brown. That's Jan's personality to me. Okay, now the personal remarks. It is not often that a husband is honored to revisit the accomplishments of his much-loved wife, as I have been allowed to do on this journey. I have been able to find even a more respect and love for this woman. So, what makes a person great? A person may be great in their aims, in their achievements, or in both. But I think a person that is truly great makes the world their debtor, who does something for the world that the world needs and no one before them knows how to do or has done. That is such a person as Jan. That's who I think she is. The world owes her a debt because she makes this place better for all of us, all the time, wherever she is. She always takes the time to thank everyone where she goes. I know Jan is such a person because she still has an enormous appetite for work, and she does that. It's a rare thing. I know that till the day she dies, she will continue to strive to make the world a better place. As a mentor to her colleagues, she always gives you as much enthusiasm. This is important. Anyone can pat someone on the back, when you do something good. It's when you really screw up. Jan is there to give you just as much enthusiasm when you fail as when you win. Or when you succeed. That is so important in mentoring people. That's what makes Jan different. Thinking back to Jan's entire career, I got to imagine how tough it was for her. In the beginning, no one knew Jan, really. Everyone assumed that she would come and go, as many mayors do. But over 30 years, we've all witnessed all of us have witnessed and have played an active part in the development of Jan. There is so much more to Jan. She is an intelligent, strong woman who has paved the way as a major player in working for equal rights in politics, the community, and in business. Like, I saw this on a thing, and really, I stole the idea from Steven Spielberg. And when his first 4 movies, the critics said to him, he makes fun movies, but there's not much to him. And he admitted it. And then he went on to create Schindler's List and stuff like that. That's my Spielberg. The range that she has is phenomenal, what she can do. One of the many things that I admire about Jan is how she has and always has the ability to take a daring leap into whatever she has set her mind on to accomplish. It's like she is an aeronautical engineer that has suddenly stopped developing a new aircraft and suddenly began creating technology to make her bicycle fly to France. She can go from one task with such great ease and to another. It's amazing. I get to see it all the time. So, it's really amazing to watch this shift gears all the time. I can honestly say that there is no one that can repeat. See, I got to restart all over again. I got my words mixed up there. It's coming out wrong. I can honestly say there is no one who can consume information and be in so many places effortlessly as Jan can. And I don't know if you know about her cell phone, but she can be in Timbuktu or here or there, and she just goes from one place to another. I think Mark and Caesars are very blessed to have her, that she can do all these things at one time. And she's, I'm slight here, but I think she's such a great ambassador for the gaming industry. Because I live in another state half the time, and you hear things about Las Vegas. She sets the world straight. Vegas is a great city with a great community, great educators. It's not about what stays in Vegas, She represents Vegas worldwide and puts you guys on the map and represents you as a city of value and decency and things going on that makes this place a great place, because I've been to so many functions. This city is remarkable. It is just remarkable, the people here. Okay, I've got that one done. All right. To be so talented and successful. It is almost considered to be mythological. That's a big word, mythological. Break down. Many times you see a person incorporate that success into their personality, and that becomes sense of self-importance about them. I want you to think about this. But that is the opposite with Jan. Jan behaves as if she's a person working for Jan. Think about that. She behaves like a person working for Jan. And I'm almost to the end. I believe there is not a woman alive anywhere whose path has not been made straighter, safer, and more prosperous by the sacrifices that Jan has made to benefit all the women of the future. She has done quite a lot for people that they quietly don't even know. And roll call. I'm on a park bench. I'm in Savannah. Okay. Life's a box of chocolate. You don't know what you're going to get. And that is all I have to say about Jan. Thank you.